Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I recently asked on my Instagram and one of my recent videos, I don't think my last one, but my one before that, if you guys had any questions, and I'm gonna answer them today. So I'm gonna head to the barn. I'm gonna answer them while I'm getting ready, grooming, tacking up, and yeah, okay, I'll see you there. Okay guys, so today I've been assigned to ride Little Miss Dora the Explorer, and while I groom and get her ready for her ride, I will answer the Q&A. Okay, so the most asked question that I got was, how long have you been riding for? So my riding anniversary is actually coming up very soon. It is in November. So I started riding in November of 2021. So in just about a month and a little bit, it's going to be my 2-year riding anniversary. Okay, so how many times a week do you ride? So I currently take lessons twice a week. I do want to move up to riding 3 times a week. So I'm going to, in the future, part board one of the horses. So then I would get 2 free rides and 1 lesson. But currently, since I have 2 lessons, I get to canter twice a week. And if I were to do part boarding right now, I wouldn't be allowed to canter on my free rides. And I don't want to lose 2 canters a week. So no part boarding yet until I'm allowed to canter by myself. And then I will move up to 3 times a week. So how long before you started cantering? So how many months or how long was I riding before we started cantering? So we started cantering in April of this year, and we were on the lunge line until about June. So almost a year and a half of just walk and trot, building that strength and building that skill before we were allowed to start cantering. Okay, next question. How long do I spend at the barn before and after a lesson? So we're supposed to be there half an hour before our lesson starts to groom and tack up and get ready. I like a little bit more time because grooming is like one of my favorite parts. I like to take my time, so sometimes I'll get there like maybe 40 minutes before the lesson, and then we're expected to stay half an hour after the lesson to again groom, untack, and then if you need to turn your horse out or feed them, then you also need to do that as well. Okay, so I'm gonna group these 2 together. So why did you start riding, and did you ever want to ride when you were little? So actually, when I was about 10 years old, I did ride for maybe like 2 months, and I just absolutely loved it. I had a horse birthday party, and after that I was obsessed and I begged my mom to take lessons. So I took lessons for a couple months. At the time I was also doing competitive dance and gymnastics and choir, so I just had a whole lot going on, and it was just too much for my parents to be driving me all over the place, and so we decided to stick with dance and gymnastics and the other sports. I think my parents were also a little bit concerned because, you know, horses are dangerous. So that is, yes, I did want to ride when I was little, and I always knew that I was going to get back into it. It was just a matter of time. Okay, so then why did I pick up riding again so much later in life? So I quit dance after in my senior year of high school. I was just so busy all the time, and I wanted a little bit more of a social life, and I had been dancing all my life at that point. So after dance, I just started hitting the gym, and that kept me busy for a little while, and I just kind of forgot about horses a little bit up until the pandemic hits. Everyone's at home, everyone's spending more time on Instagram, and for some reason on my For You page, horses just started appearing, and I kept watching and I liked them, so it was showing me more and more. And then I kept thinking to myself like, oh, someday I'm gonna ride soon, I'm gonna ride again soon. And then I kind of realized why am I saying soon? Like, why not right now? It is actually one of the only things that you could still do in the pandemic because it was an outdoor sport. So you were allowed to still ride while everything else was closed. And I just kind of realized that, you know what, it's now or never. This is the perfect opportunity. I'm going to do it. So I signed up and I have fallen in love. And I think this is my new purpose in life. Will you ever lease/own your own horse? Absolutely. That is my ultimate goal. I would love to have multiple horses if possible. I'm definitely going to lease first and, you know, get that experience of what it would be like a little bit financially without the full-blown commitment to owning your own horse. And then, you know what, eventually I will end up owning my horse. Just right now it financially doesn't really make sense for me to lease or own a horse, but definitely in the future, maybe within the next couple of years. So who is your favorite horse at the barn? And if you could own one of the horses at the barn, who would it be? I think most of you already know my answer. Little Miss Daisy. I like to pretend that I don't have favorites, but it's honestly definitely Daisy. Next question. So what discipline will I go into? So my barn does hunter jumper. So they have a show team and I do want to show with them one of these years, maybe next summer. I don't know yet. We'll see. So yeah, I'll definitely do hunter jumper. This question is, how do you get over the fear of cantering? I would just say the only way to not be scared of something is to have confidence, and the way to build confidence is with small successes. So just making sure that you're ready to canter and taking those small steps, like being on the lunge line for a little while until you feel super confident with that. And then when you finally get off the lunge, like keep your hand on the saddle, you know, small baby steps with small successes. That's going to make you feel confident. And if you're already cantering, but you're feeling a little bit scared and fearful about it, take a step back, go back to basics, maybe go back to holding the saddle or go back on the lunge line. And then eventually, once you have those wins, you'll feel more confident. So was I ever scared of horses when I first started riding? Honestly, they're a little intimidating. I hadn't spent too much time around horses when I got back into it. So yeah, they can be a little intimidating, but you know, the more time that you spend around them, you just kind of get over that fear and you realize that they're really harmless. They're crazy sometimes, but they're really gentle creatures. And the more I learn and understand horse behavior, the more confident I am around them. So have I ever ridden Western? I have, just like on trail rides while I'm traveling, but I've never actually done a lesson riding Western. Mares or geldings. So my trainer definitely prefers mares, so there's way more mares at our barn. So I have way more experience with mares, so I'm gonna say mares. So favorite horse breed? Honestly, I don't know about breed specifically, but I can tell you my favorite horse coats. Like, I'd love to own a paint. I think they're just absolutely beautiful. Or a blue roan. They are so stunning. Those would be my top two picks. Do I have any pets? Yes, I do. I have a little Havanese dog. Her name is Kayla and she's 15 years old, so she's a senior citizen. And the last question that I'm going to answer in this Q&A is, are you born and raised in Canada and have you ever ridden in the States? I was actually born in Ireland but raised in Canada, and I've never had the opportunity to ride in the States. I would love to though. Okay guys, so if you've seen my other video with Dora, she's been on my channel once before, and if you remember Dora, you would know that Dora is the slowest horse in the barn and requires so much leg when riding her. This horsefly wants Dora! Get away from my horse! Every time I ride Dora, she truly humbles me. But, so my trainer told me, apparently last weekend, Dora had bucked off her rider. And I was just absolutely shocked to hear it. And honestly, like, I didn't believe it. I was like, Dora, pfft, that's not the Dora I know. But later in this lesson, when we're cantering, Dora actually has quite a spicy moment. And yep, let's just say I believe it now. So stay tuned to see that. Want to try it? Let's try it. So as per usual, first trying to get Dora to trot was quite painful. In the beginning, it's quite tough. Once she's warm and once I'm warm and I can like really squeeze, it's a lot easier to keep her trotting and get her trotting with good forward momentum. But in the beginning, she really does the infamous Dora shuffle. And it's really, really hard for her to break out of that shuffle and go into an actual trot. Come on! Okay. So at this point, we had barely been trotting for only like a few minutes and I was already absolutely dying. My calves and hamstrings were on fire. So with Dora, she moves a lot better if she's following. So I tried to stay a little bit closer to the other horses to try and get her to trot a little bit more forward. And we're starting our first exercise by trotting over the line of poles, holding 2 point of course. Oh.
Land on the brakes.
Okay. So Dora has always been really bad over poles. She never really picks up her feet, so I always have to make sure that I give her lots of energy and lots of squeezing and lots of little taps just to ensure that she doesn't trip and fall on her face and all that bad stuff. Okay, so we are changing diagonal now and we are going to go over the same line of poles on the other rein. As you can see now, Dora's really starting to get the picture and she's really hustling. Girl is working hard. She may not be the fastest horse in the barn, but I wouldn't really necessarily call her lazy because when she works, girl, she tries. So now my trainer is just raising the poles. So we're going to be doing some raised trot poles, which this is the first time that I have ever done that. And I'm a little bit nervous because if Dora does not pick up her feet, this could be trouble.
Dora, pay attention.
Now you're hustling. Dora.
Oh gosh.
Dora. Okay, so we did almost fall flat on our face there. And the thing is, like, Dora kept wanting to pick up the canter. I wasn't asking for it, but she definitely was wanting to canter over them. Why, Dora?
Circle.
I think she sees the raised poles and she's like, I need to canter over them. No, just pick up your feet. I don't think she knows either. So Dora just fully cantered over the poles that last time there. I was being wary of how much I was pulling back because I didn't want to pull back too much and then her trot would be too slow and she would either refuse or we would trip and fall. So it was kind of a hard thing to play, so more or less I just let her canter over them. But anyways, now we're taking a break and we are going to go around and practice our canter. So Dora is definitely one of those horses that goes to pick up the canter before you ask her to, which can be a little bit frustrating. I thought I checked it and I was like, that looks right.
It's not right. Okay.
So I totally forgot that Dora's weaker side is actually going left. For more horses, their weaker side is going right. So I totally forgot about that. So definitely need to make sure I'm asking her in the corners. But again, since Dora kept trying to pick up the canter before I was asking her to, we were not in the corners when she was picking it up. And because of that, we kept getting the wrong lead. So I just circled back and was just gonna keep asking until we got the right one. Yeah. So that wasn't too bad. My seat is feeling so much better than my ride on Maple. In the beginning, I was actually leaning a little bit too far back as an overcompensation. But overall, feeling so much better. So now we're going to canter on the right, and this is Dora's good lead. So this is going to feel much more comfortable than the other side. Ooh, I sat that. I thought I was going on.
No, of course you're staying on.
Dora, what? Oh, was there a buck in there?
A little pro hop, yeah, but look what you did, right? You patted her. You're like, oh, good girl, you sucked me off. What you do is go back out there and go again.
Okay.
Told you there's spice in there.
It is in there. Is that what happened when she bucked off her rider last week?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Guys, I could not believe it. I've never seen Dora behave like that ever. That seems like such a completely different horse. But yeah, my trainer was right. There is spice in there. Right, yeah.
If I had that in her, that would have spurred her to do it again.
Right, okay, okay. I wonder if it had anything to do with those raised trot poles over here. No. Okay, good girl, Dora.
Dora having a spicy moment.
I'm still blown away by Dora's little episode there. But we went back out there and we completed the circle successfully. And you know what? I must say, I am really, really proud of myself for sitting that. I didn't feel like I was out of my seat at any point. I did like kind of lose my left stirrup at the end of it just before she stopped, but yeah, I'm really proud of that. I sat that like a pro. This ride has been a totally different experience from my last ride on Maple. I feel like all of those thoughts and all of those feelings and all of those things that I struggled with position wise on Maple were not really there in this ride. I have more or less corrected for them. Yeah. Like, where did that come from? Honestly, now I believe the stories. Now I believe the stories. So that was honestly such a good feeling and such a good confidence booster. And sitting Dora's little spicy moment is the biggest confidence booster of all. I truly feel totally invincible. But now I'm hopping off. Our lesson is done. I'm going to cool out Dora and then we'll take her up to the barn and untack. So the barn was just a little bit full at this point, so I'm just going to untack Dora and put her in the cross ties outside, which is perfect because I need to give her a little sponge down anyways, because Dora was working hard today. Honestly, very, very proud of her. She was working hard, maybe just a little bit too hard, and she got a little too excited, but it's never a dull moment with Dora, that's for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hoped you enjoyed my video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!